Yeah, 2026 is on the horizon and I'm starting to make plans about where I'm about to go in next year. It's getting a bit chilly, golf isn't possible right now, but I've got a bit of Christmas cheer to bring along because I'm about to announce the biggest giveaway on my channel ever.
Ireland's ancient East should be the next stop on anyone's to-do list, and in today's video I'm going to give you a chance to win a trip for two to follow in my footsteps. This trip to Ireland provided me with some of the best value for money golf courses I have ever experienced. I got the full Irish experience of good beer, good food and great crack, and I even got to squeeze in a visit to Ireland's national stadium, Croke Park, to watch an Irish football final. Now, your best way to travel to Ireland's ancient East is via the ferry ports of Dublin and Rosslare, or fly into Dublin Airport. My trip included golf at 8 incredible courses on Ireland's ancient East, and all within a short distance from Dublin. My journey started on a Stena line ferry crossing from Holyhead to Dublin, and then a short drive to my first golf course of the trip, Headfort. Headfort is home to two golf courses, the Old Course and the Christy O'Connor Design Championship. All I can say is what a start to the trip. I played the full 18 holes on the championship, which is a mature parkland, big bunkering, large greens, lots of water, extremely picturesque and in immaculate condition. It was a golf course that had me from the very first tee shot. The mature tree lines and sculptured fairways suggest a top-class venue, and it did not disappoint. Each hole has plenty of character and will ask questions of your game. Water hazards and bunkers are a significant part of its defence, and some strategic choices are required to navigate from tee to green and try to avoid water and sand along the way.
So that was me done, day one. Well, almost, because I took a journey to Killeen Castle, which is where I was going to stay for the next 2 or 3 nights of the trip. The long driveway up and the castle dominated a landscape on the horizon to a Jack Nicklaus design of some serious pedigree.
Now, this place has a special feel about it, elevated but very welcoming. Once you're on the resort, you don't really need to leave. We checked into our accommodation, which is in the former lodges. Our property was 4-bedroomed, and we had a shared living room area, which is great as a group, or to be honest with you, if you're just a 2-ball, the rooms are perfect. I was up early and headed down for breakfast in the main clubhouse, with views overlooking the first fairway. Just get the juices flowing. Killeen does one thing really well and offer multiple tee box options, so you can play from a yardage that suits your ability. As with many great parklands, water hazards are plentiful, and the design of the course has a lot of the risk and reward elements that are seen in Jack Nicklaus design. I feel like it's fairly generous on the fairways. The greens are big, but so are the hazards. It's an absolute joy to play, and each hole is very individual in its layout. As you can see, it's in extremely good condition. The castle is pretty much visible throughout the round, and as I understand, could be ready for some conversion to further accommodation next year. All in all, an incredibly good experience, and a course that leaves you want to come back for more. I can't wait to return.
So I originally posted this series of videos, one episode a week, but seeing them all together just reminds me just how incredible this trip was. The variety of the golf courses that Stena had organised also meant they were very different, so the challenge every day was different. And one thing I'll say about the Irish is they do hospitality incredibly well. And I don't just mean drink Guinness, although they're not too bad at that either, but they're just very welcoming, very warm. Every time you go in a clubhouse or you see fellow golfers, they all want to have a chat, and the off-course crack is, well, as good as anywhere in the world, to be quite honest with you. But that wasn't it. We weren't finished, because next up was the first time on this trip, at least, it was 36 holes in the one day.
County Louth and Seapoint would make up my first 36 holes in a day on this trip. They're about 40 minutes drive from Killeen and share the same stretch of coastline. First up is County Louth, or more affectionately known as Baltray. Baltray is the epitome of links and ranked amongst the very best in Ireland. Some unreal contouring around the green complexes requiring some real skill and ingenuity to get the ball in the hole. From the tee box, it very much depends on which way the wind blows. Almost every hole faces a different direction, so very much a challenge to understand the breeze, which adds to the difficulty. Classic links style revetted pot bunkers that always seem to be where your ball comes to rest, thanks to the shaping and runoffs on fairways and greens. I can't stress enough the severity of the runoffs around the greens, presenting an almost impossible scenario if you're on the wrong side of the pin. Baltray would be in my top 10 courses I've ever played, and somewhere I'd love to return someday. But for now, it was a hop over the fence, and my next 18 holes awaits at the neighbouring Seapoint links. Now, whilst they share the same coastline and adjoining landscape, they are very different golf courses, and Seapoint is a worthy neighbour, providing another challenge on the links. As with all the courses I've played, they're in some amazing condition, and Seapoint was as good as we've played, and the greens were exceptional. The breeze had picked up a little from the morning's play, and the challenge that the links presents was more prevalent in the afternoon. Once again, the greens were protected by severe runoffs, and bunkers await for any stray. Using the contours to your favour can sometimes pay dividends, or just get lucky. Either way, it's always nice to capitalise. Once again, Seapoint has raised tee boxes which allow the enjoyment of the sea that hides beyond the dunes, and when you can't see it, you can hear it landing on the beach. The closing stretch is as tough as boots, and if the wind is in too, then the closing 4 holes can ruin any good scorecard. I had just played 36 holes in one day and enjoyed it from start to finish, but it was time for a lie down and get ready for the grand finale.
I was at 2 belters in terms of links golf. Thoroughly enjoyed my first 4 rounds, but next up I was moving base. I was going down to the southeast corner of Ireland into Wexford, I was staying at White's of Wexford, that would be my base, top class hotel, and it's where you will be staying if you enter this week's giveaway with Club Choice Island.
If you want to follow in my footsteps, then this is the perfect opportunity. We've teamed up with Tiernan and the team at Club Choice Island for the biggest giveaway ever on this channel. You can win 2 nights bed and breakfast, 3 rounds of golf, and return Stena Ferry for a car and 2 persons to Ireland's ancient east. You'll be staying at the wonderful Whites of Wexford and playing golf at 3 incredible golf courses: Macreddin, Rosslare Links, and Mount Juliet. All you need to do to enter is go to the website on screen or via the link in description and provide your details. T's and C's apply and can be found at clubchoiceisland.com. Good luck.
So good luck to all of you that enter, but if you want to see the courses you'll be playing, then don't go anywhere because they're up next.
Now, the first thing that will take your breath away is the unique clubhouse building, but it won't be the last thing that has you stuck for words. It was early morning, clear blue skies, and only the whistle of birds could break the silence. I'd arrived in golfer's paradise. Set in the foothills of the Wicklow Mountains is Bunclody Golf and Fishing Club. The golf course is mature beyond its 25 years. Generous fairways weave through the tree line, often interrupted by a pond or two, and the odd bunker along the way. Beautifully presented from the first to the last hole of this idyllic parkland setting. It's a golf course that if you had to play every day until your last, then you wouldn't get tired of it. Every tee box, fringe, fairway and green was in perfect condition. I enjoyed every minute of Bunclody, and my day had only just gotten started. I was making the most of the gorgeous Irish weather, and a short drive took me to my second 18 of the day at the nearby Macreddin Golf Club, which was equally as spectacular. Macreddin is the work of Paul McGinley, and at the time of year we visited can only be described as a sea of yellow. The landscape suggested Switzerland, with the tall pines and the Wicklow Mountains in the backdrop, and set in true isolation. Macreddin is no walk in the park. It's a tough track that has you holding your breath that your tee shot lands on grass and not in gorse. I don't think I've seen a golf course so well presented. Patterns in fairways and greens cut with precision and care were a sight to behold on every tee box. Now, if you have a minute, just sit back and relax, because my words just get in the way of what you're about to see. Oh, and this is one of the courses that you could be playing in 2026.
Now, it wasn't all golf and there's plenty to do off course, and I took a short trip into Kilkenny, where first of all, it's a great place to spend some time. A few bars to have a drink in as well. But I was drawn into the Smithwick's brewery tour and fully immersed into their interactive tour. And apart from the sort of testing my sensory skills, I also got the enjoyment of pouring my own pint and enjoying my labour. And next up was my final 2 rounds of this tour, and both of these will feature in the Club Choice giveaway.
Now, Mount Juliet is a golf course from the higher echelons. It has held many a tour event and famously where Tiger Woods won the World Golf Championships in 2002. From the long drive into the estate, you have arrived at a 5-star venue both on and off the course. And I had the privilege of playing in the Legends Tour Pro-Am. It was an amazing experience, and let's not forget, this is one of the venues you could be playing in 2026 if you enter the Club Choice Ireland giveaway. I don't have lots of footage from this one, as I was deeply concentrated and not making a fool of myself, and the camera, well, that was the least of my worries. But what you can see from the brief footage is a golf course of the highest pedigree. I had the privilege of playing golf with Roger Chapman, Ray Houghton, and let's not forget the legend that is Tiernan Byrne. So with one more day to go, we couldn't get another day of pure sunshine, could we? Well, they say the sun always shines on the righteous. Not sure how we managed it, but my last 18 holes of the trip was to be at Rosslare Golf Links in perfect weather, and it was a fitting way to end such a trip. Now they say a picture paints 1,000 words, so I'm not sure why I'm still here waffling on. But this is a belter of a links, set alongside the Irish Sea and close to Rosslare Harbour. The dunes separate the course from the beach and the sea, although thanks to some new tee boxes, you get to see the tide meet the sand on numerous occasions. Rolling fairways, runoffs and swales, revetted bunkers, greens that run pure. This is my idea of heaven. Okay, I'll shut up for a minute and let you enjoy without further interruption.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. My tour of Ireland is complete, and hopefully you've seen enough to encourage you to get entered into that draw. And if you don't get lucky in that respect, then make sure you get this on your radar. Into the years ahead, make sure you speak to the people at Club Choice Ireland and get them to help you out in organising any tour or future trip. They are, first of all, genuinely nice people, but they also have a real interest in making sure your trip goes to plan. Their organisation from start to finish was incredible. So I must say a personal thanks to Tiernan and the team for organising such an incredible week. I'm hoping that I will be back there next year, and I certainly hope one of you or two of you get lucky into that giveaway. It's certainly worth the trip, and I'm sure you'll have an amazing time just like I did. For the time being, that's me done. I'll finish my coffee. I've got plenty of work to do during these winter months, and I'll probably catch you in a few days' time when we start reviewing some golf clubs that are on the way in 2026 also. But for now, happy Christmas. See you all soon.